Today on Warrior Update, women veterans take the honor flight, the Stiff family crosses school boundaries, and boys cross country brings home hardware. It's Friday, October 22nd. I'm Jackson Dowell, and this is Warrior Update. Boys cross country made history last weekend. Warrior Update has more.
Boys cross country won the DuPage Valley Conference Championship last weekend. It was the team's first DVC title and first conference championship since 2004. What made it even sweeter was winning in their own backyard.
It's great because we really know this course backwards and forwards. We've run on it probably more than anybody else has in recent history in the school and the COVID and everything. So being able to know where all the tactical points are, where we need to move up, where the team needs to group up together, where we need to pass people, it's just huge for our game plan mentality and trying to get where we want to be at the end of the meet.
The team grew closer throughout the pandemic and stressed its pack mentality during meets.
Definitely cohesive. When we're in workouts and practice, we're running together, we're racing together. It's transferable.
This is a group of kids that I haven't had to do a whole heck of a lot of work about, hey, I need you to do this for your teammate, do that for their teammate. They operate as a unit. We ran a lot of that race, one guy right next to the other guy, right next to the other guy.
You might not think it's a team sport, but it really is. You're depending on those guys, whether it's the first guy, the third guy, the fifth guy, everyone matters. So depending on where they're finishing, it's important for everyone to be together. So when the pack is together, you're stronger together. You're running together, you're depending on your teammates, you're less focused on yourself.
Aiden Oster was out, leaving room for Chris Miserandino to step up.
Being able to have some depth to come up for some guys when they're down and help support them when they're out is huge for us. So with Chris being able to step up at the end of the race is really big for us.
2 weeks in a row, Chris has run monster races, moved up massively, covered the spot, and we look really, really good.
For Warrior Update, I'm Cullen Watkins.
Female veterans were honored earlier this month. Leslie Tazinski reports.
The Honor Flight Network has been around since 2005, honoring war veterans by taking them on a flight free of charge to the nation's capital. There, the veterans visit memorials and monuments around Washington, D.C., all dedicated to the sacrifices they and their fellow soldiers made. But this year, the traditional celebratory event has a new branch, known as Operation Her Story. This branch focuses solely on women veterans while still honoring their male counterparts. The project's goal? To make the women visible.
Operation Her Story was an organization that was formed to ensure that our nation's senior veterans, or actually the veterans from Illinois, were recognized for their service. When I worked for the state, I was the chief of staff for the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, and I would go to these meetings and I would not see any women. It was all old white men. I'm like, something's going on here. Where are the women? I started looking into it, and this is when the Daughters of the American Revolution said, I think you should do something with Honor Flight. So I talked to the folks at Honor Flight, and I asked them where the women are, and they basically said, we can't find them. I said, well, we'll help you. The women that served in the military between 1940 to 1975 did their job, took their oath, did what they were supposed to do in the military, then they left. Basically, what triggered me to help these women is I'd like to find my sisters out there. And that's what it was. It was like getting all these women together.
Project Her Story's crew and veterans finally took flight to Washington, D.C. earlier this month, flying together as sisters in arms for their final message that women are warriors too.
I think that women should be out there joining the American Legion, joining women military groups, get involved, tell their oral history. They need to make themselves visible. It's okay. And they should be proud of their service.
For Warrior Update, I'm Leslie Tazinski.
Waubonsie students helped create a special space for deserving kids. Warrior Update has more.
Waubonsie Valley students volunteered last weekend for an organization called Special Spaces, a nonprofit that creates dream bedrooms for children with cancer.
We're here because, one of the children has cancer, so we like to come and create a dream bedroom makeover to try and make at least that part of their life a little bit better. It is one day with all volunteers coming, and the kids are doing it all. They're doing every bit of it. They're painting, they're assembling, staging, making beds, everything.
Honestly, just helping out and seeing the kids' faces when they see their rooms is so special, and honestly, it just changes everyone's lives, just seeing that and seeing that you can make someone so happy by just a room and just realizing and just doing anything you can to help.
It's just so heartening to have, a group of students come in and share a Saturday. There's a million different ways they could be spending their Saturday, and I love that it's a great group of people. It's awesome.
You cannot help but be humble and grateful for your life because you see the child and you see what they're going through, and it just gives you a perspective shift that nothing else can. Every form of volunteering is good, but it's really important for the kids to see the impact they've made, and with Special Spaces, they get to see that at the end of the day.
It's such a great feeling. I mean, people really like to be part of doing something good for someone else, but they really feel good about what they're doing, and they should. I mean, just bringing a bit of joy to somebody. I mean, so much. Yeah, you can only imagine what these families are going through. I mean, a cancer diagnosis for an adult is horrifying. For a child, it's just absolutely brutal.
When you have a sick child, their world is revolved around their room, their hospital, shots, chemo, and to know that somebody else cares about them is really important. And a room is really a sustainable change. It's not something that they get once. It's not a gift that they use once. They use it for the rest of their lives. And some of the parents give us the biggest gift back by telling us things like their child hasn't left their room, or their child slept in their room for the very first time since their diagnosis. And those are truly the gifts that were given back to us.
Special Spaces has done over 1,300 bedrooms since 2003 and now has 14 chapters across the country. For more information, visit specialspaces.org. For Warrior Update, I'm Jason Strong.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
We've been waiting for you, Coraline.
You probably think this world is a dream come true, but you're wrong.
A Neuqua student has a special connection to Waubonsie. Nick Bollendorf has more.
A familiar name was on the course at the DuPage Valley Conference Cross Country Championships on Saturday. Ava Stipp, daughter of Waubonsie Valley principal Jason Stipp, was running in the varsity race as a sophomore for her high school, Neuqua Valley.
Well, I get really nervous when I'm in the faster races because I'm obviously going to be towards the back. But this race, I was just trying to have fun because it was my last race, and I need to remember that running is fun. So I was just trying to have that mindset today. I've been running since 3rd grade, but I haven't been running seriously since middle school, 8th grade. I need to really focus this winter and push myself a lot more. This season was an off season for me. Last year I was a little bit better, but that's just something to look forward to in track.
Jason became a principal at Waubonsie in 2012. Ava was 6 years old. Since that time, she had grown up on the sidelines of Waubonsee events with her dad. The Stipps live within Neuqua Valley's boundaries, so when it came time for high school, Ava became a Wildcat.
Well, I liked being able to sit on the field during the games, and I would always come to these. I'd come to this race and everything, and I'd see all the people, and I'd be like, oh, this is gonna be me in the future. I love Waubonsee. I could basically walk around. I know this place more than Neuqua. I don't like Waubonsee, but I also do like Waubonsee. It's a love-hate relationship.
And like any Waubonsee-Neuqua relationship, a rivalry was born.
In the football season, I tease him a lot about the Neuqua-Waubonsee game, and he gets a little bit mad. But other than that, I like it. He's really supportive. He comes to a lot of my stuff, and yeah, he's always at everything of mine.
N-N-N-E-U, Q-Q-Q-U-A, N-E-U, Q-U-A, let's go Wildcats! Woo!
For Warrior Update, I'm Nick Bollendorf.
That's all for Warrior Update. I'm Jackson Dowell. Thanks for watching. Today on Warrior Update. What happens? Today on Warrior Update. Female... I don't even know. It's coming from everywhere. That's not social distancing.
Yeah, so you were in the frame that time?
You were in the frame. What if I just start my workout after this? Just start running on the track. Just start running. With the microphone, actually.